to. It's just a
Yeah.
circle of
Yeah.
validation kind of thing, you know?
That's what I hope this is. Because
Mhm.
if it's not and you're just out here just leading people on and dropping them and all of that, then yeah, you're probably a bad queer. But
Yeah.
if y'all are having fun and doing the things, adults can flirt. Adults can have
Hmm.
good times. You can sit and message and match and do what you want if it feels good. That's fine. Still be a dick about it.
Yeah. A validation circle jerk, you know? Everybody gets something.
One-liners today
A,
are
val-
very good.
a validation 69. As long as you're keeping, as long as you're
A
communicating that
validation
everybody is.
circle jerk. This is Shayna,
And Kris.
and we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and got put in a box of stereotypes you don't belong to, then welcome to the Bad Queers Club.
All right, this week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have pansexual. Pansexual, which is defined as an attraction to people of any gender or to people regardless of their gender, with the prefix pan coming from the Greek prefix for all. Pan is for all. A deeper dive is basically if you're attracted to people of more than one gender or all genders, you may be pansexual. Some people may use the words bisexual, which is an attraction to more than one gender, and pansexual interchangeably, and others just use the word exclusively to describe themselves. And this definition was from the Trevor Project.
All right, my Queer Urban Dictionary word of the week is Molly House. So, not what you think, completely different.
You know what that was about to be.
Molly House was a term used in the 18th and 19th century Britain for a meeting place for homosexual men and gender nonconforming people. The meeting places were generally taverns, public houses, coffee houses, or private rooms where patrons could either socialize or meet possible sexual partners. My sentence: despite the reputation of Molly houses as places having primarily sexual connotations, rather than as social meeting spaces, some historians are reluctant to classify them specifically as brothels because some folks argue that regular customers could have been, in fact, mutual friends meeting in these safe spaces. Molly
Hmm.
House.
They have always had infrastructure, gay men.
Always.
They've always
Like,
had
where was this
pubs,
for us?
gathering places, and all that.
All the
We had to
nicknames,
we had to do all that tension
all the
touching
stuff.
thing at like
We have to
that
watch
was
3 hour
it.
films for a pinky to touch
Yeah,
and for
that's
there to
it.
be
And it was like,
shudder.
oh, yeah. That's it. No infrastructure, no
That's
private
it.
meeting places. So
That's it.
that's why we say sometimes gay men diet oppressed, okay? Because you just want a little thing away.
Okay.
Y'all had the infrastructure. Y'all had some things. So
Honestly, we might
Molly
have to do
House.
a deep dive on the secret spaces for queer women and see if we find any
Yeah,
others. Because I know,
right.
but it's like we had to have like the friend of the friend who wrote a note who slid it to the neighbor down the street, and we have to
Hmm.
find that letter
Yeah, that
is
they had to
what
set
our
that little
research would
note
look
on
like.
fire as well
Yeah,
or something.
because knowing us, we
Gosh.
were not going to be found. So
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm sure we had something, but we probably it's probably some covert thing that's actually pretty cool, but like layers of protection and you know, you gotta push you have to move this pebble over and it like opens a yeah, we probably got pretty intricate. So
yeah, and it had to be
we'll
based
find
on
it.
astrology as well. It has to
It
be
probably
on
it probably
Mercury
did.
has to be out
Hmm.
doing the thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna
Hmm.
find it. We're gonna
Only
find it.
certain moons, only
Yes,
certain moons will you be
yes.
able to, yeah, for sure.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and praise Billy Porter. Or praise, pray tell. I'm sorry, I haven't even
Oh,
said. Wow, that just rolled off the
it's
tongue.
all
We're gonna
right. Well,
praise,
shout out,
pray
icon.
tell. Our first category is. It feels like there was a lot of verses this week, so it's like a
Oh
section of
man.
verses. But our first verses is Simone Biles and Riley Gaines.
Mm.
Riley Gaines, who was a former collegiate swimmer, posted a tweet that stated, "To be expected when your star player is a boy." She retweeted this with the subtweet being a high school softball state championship in Minnesota had won their state championship and their pitcher was trans. She was referring to the pitcher. Simone hopped on, responded by tweeting back at Riley, stating that you're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Maybe a transgender category in all sports, but instead, you bully them. One thing's for sure, no one in sports is safe with you around.
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate part around this is that Black women can't just be out here speaking up the way that they want to, especially when the white women speak incorrectly. And so Simone came back, wrote a longer tweet of her apologizing for calling Riley truly sick, stating that this was probably not one of those conversations that are best for online back and forth, and that she wants the future of sport to be fair, inclusive, and respectful. I, on the other hand, was like, Simone, keep choosing violence, girl. Stick
Man,
10 toes down
nothing wrong with what she said there. She even
at all.
had the opening for like, hey, maybe there's some other avenues to explore. But bullying trans athletes, especially kids, is insane. And Riley Gaines owes her whole career to trans athletes, to the handful of trans
Truly.
athletes around the nation. Like they said she was decent in college, but she's talking to one of the greatest Olympians of all time. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a dog barking at the moon. It's crazy. And I hate that Simone walked it back because,
Same.
you know,
I was over here like, girl, rage. Rage against, like,
yeah,
we're all out here raging in the streets. Like, keep it going because anything that you said was not wrong.
yeah,
It
never
was not wrong.
apologize to them, you know. And
Yes.
I don't know if you saw the clip. I think it was yesterday. Riley Gaines was like on Fox News, basically taking that apology and still shitting on Simone. So it was like no reason for you to even apologize because Riley Gaines isn't apologetic. She's actually using this
Mm-hmm.
as more fuel again for her grifting career and everything. So, um, and even outside of it, you know, the anti-trans athlete activists are all like these loser women. Like there's
Yeah.
no one who is like it is loser women that are trying to say like they're protecting women and protecting women's sports. Where
Mm-hmm.
it's just
We're,
like,
we're here for the
girl,
authenticity. Like,
you
girl, go
don't,
sit down. You tied
girl,
Leah Thomas for fifth place in
fifth,
2022.
okay,
In fifth place.
fifth
Okay.
place
And you are still upset. Like, girl, you weren't winning. You got a participation award.
at all.
Like, what do you mean? I
Tied
don't
for
understand.
fifth.
I don't understand what you're upset about. And they're like, oh, well, of course she's up here. Girl, you weren't winning anyway. This is the part of the argument where I'm like, the people who are arguing are not on the podium.
Yeah, and never were
They're
gonna
not.
be. Yeah. So I hate Simone back down here. There was nothing wrong. And
Yes.
then Riley Gaines was like, even in her response back to this, to Simone's statement that you wrote, try to use her sexual abuse against her. Like after that,
Yes.
I'm not apologizing to anybody who
Mm-mm.
uses that, you know? So
If Simone comes on here and says,
uh,
I take it back, I'm not going to be mad either. I'm going to be like,
I'm
go ahead, girl.
not, I'm
Take it back.
not. Or
Take it
just some
back.
sentiment of, you know what, bitch?
Like, you know what?
Like, that's why you can't like I mean, with everything else that's going on, like there's no giving those people an inch. They're completely irrational. They are running our country into the ground with their ideologies and their culture wars. And again, they're grifting. Like no one would have known who Riley Gaines was
Mm-hmm.
at all if she didn't make this like her entire personality. So,
Yeah. At all. So,
mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Well, there was another versus
yep.
this week, as you
Yep.
mentioned. A clip went around T.S. Madison versus NeNe Leakes. We'll say the category is for this is hearts, not parts.
That's not parts.
Hearts, not parts. So by this time, like the clip has been out for a couple of days, but just to uh, inform folks who may not have seen it, T.S. Madison was on the NeNe Leakes show, where they had a candid and tense discussion about trans dating, men who date trans women, and dating preferences in general. The conversation quickly drew attention online for the educational moments, but obviously the controversy because NeNe's comments were unsurprisingly transphobic. So NeNe's perspective after T.S. Madison stated that she doesn't date gay men. And NeNe was like, well, they're not straight. And NeNe was saying that she glitched up, like
Yeah.
expressing discomfort, confusion. She was like, wait,
The
because y'all
symbol
play these
started floating.
games and everything. Like once
Started
T.S.
coming
Madison
in.
said, I don't date gay men, like they don't. no, I don't date. And she was like, well, you know how y'all play, like they're gay. And she's like, no, they're not. He was like, they're not gay men. Gay men are attracted to men. So NeNe's discomfort and confusion about men who date trans women was suggesting that those men aren't straight, implying that they may be gay or bisexual, but they're not straight. She made it clear she wouldn't date anyone like it. Well, like anyone that dates a trans woman, she was like, I'm not dating anybody like that, in a really, really nasty way.
Well, if you meet somebody that's just good for me, let me know. Because
Would you date him if I know him?
Yeah, that doesn't. Do you only know gay men?
Well, I don't date gay men.
Well, okay. Well, I when you guys be saying that, that's weird.
Why?
Because what do you mean you don't date gay men? Because if he is sleeping with you and sleeping with a woman, he's something. So, okay, wait a minute. We gotta go back and figure this out.
Yeah.
So the man.
Now we talking.
Yeah. So the man gonna be sleeping with me and you. I don't want to talk to him no more.
You don't?
No.
So throughout the conversation, NeNe repeatedly asserted her views in this like really nasty way, despite the very clear gaps in understanding between gender identity and sexual orientation. Throughout this whole thing, T.S. Madison was so patient with NeNe, and kept her composure as she normally does by both educating NeNe and the audience, clarifying that men who are attracted to trans women are typically straight, not gay, and that their sexual orientation and gender identity are two distinct concepts. T.S. emphasized that men who identify as gay do not date or desire trans women, which most of the internet was like, yeah, there were some gay men that were like, no, I'm attracted to trans women. But generally, most gay men were like, no, we're not. And that trans women are desirable to men who identify as straight, when she further explained the terms like trans, queer, non-binary, pansexual, trying to highlight just the complexities of it all. But no one handles these conversations better than T.S. Madison. Like, I know that there was a lot of transphobia and a lot of controversy with that conversation, but it was nuanced. And there were folks that saw this conversation and wanted to understand. And they did end on a good note that I thought was important, with NeNe asking if she should take PrEP, because previously Tamar Braxton said she's taking PrEP because she's out there single and dating. And T.S. Madison was like, absolutely, because men are loose. They, she just handled the whole thing really well, because like, again, NeNe, just the whole demeanor. And it's like, the thing with NeNe is like, NeNe is a reality TV icon, meme goddess, probably one of the best memes, all memes for every feeling is a NeNe thing. But NeNe's career was built off of her proximity to gay men and Black queer culture in Atlanta, using the slang terms, all that other stuff. So there's no excuse for NeNe to at least be more educated on this stuff. That's what makes me more disgusted, is that NeNe and her proximity and a lot of her rise was like on the backs of Black gay men, Black trans women, lingo, all the things. And she like refuses to educate herself or not handle this with more grace and just like understanding. I think she kind of, once C.S. Madison was like handling her objections and how she was saying things like, I wouldn't date anybody who likes you, just again, the nasty way in which she tried to make it seem nasty. She kind of, I think, backed off to just kind of like, I should listen to what T.S. Madison's saying here. But yeah, I don't get it. I mean, she definitely represents a lot of Black women and a lot of women. So that's why I think this conversation was important, and no one better than T.S. Madison to handle it. But I was like, NeNe is just committed to ignorance. And it's crazy. So
like, it's interesting in that she was even willing to go on the show.
Yeah. TS will go anywhere, honestly.
I mean, TS will, but it's more so like,
you mean NeNe?
More so NeNe having her to, because I'm like, not even to do just the lightest research.
Not the lightest.
To do that, and just to watch her glitch out in real time was glorious, because I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's about to be an educational moment. Like, that's what I was like, oh God. Yeah. It's I wonder how tired TS gets
Yeah.
off of having to always teach. Like, obviously her face and the way that she goes about it is truly auntie vibes. Like,
The looks
yes,
in the
come on,
camera.
sit right here, girl. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna learn today.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like all of the education that she has to do. Well, that she doesn't even have to do it, but
Mhm.
she does it. And I can only imagine how exhausting it is to have to just explain your existence at all times.
All
And that's one
times.
of the things that I always feel for the trans community, especially when, we have people like Laverne speaking out and TS, like two of the most popular ones.
Mhm.
Hope has to go out and speak
And
all the
hope.
time. It's just,
Mhm.
gosh, for my people,
Yeah.
I want better for you so that you don't have to go and do these things or don't have these folks who do benefit from the culture having to
Mhm.
sit in front of your face and be naive to what your day-to-day life looks like and just learning a few things.
Yeah. And not for nothing. I mean, I am sure that NeNe has experienced some transphobic remarks in how she presents in the world as a cis woman. She's
Mm-hmm.
very tall. Like we talk about this all the time, how transphobia affects cis women all the time. So
All the
I saw
time.
some of the comments like NeNe, like you would absolutely like, especially the moment of the video clip where she was talking about a man coming in and seeing both of them. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't know why you think you're just so different from trans women. Like it defies logic that it is just that level of ignorance. But again, I am so happy that they had this conversation and that it was T.S. Madison having this conversation and being patient and nuanced because this conversation is had over and over again. And to have it, this is also episode 9 of the NeNe Leakes show. I peeped that. And this video is at like 14 million views. So
Right.
she knew what she was doing going into this
Mm-hmm.
territory for sure. Um, but yeah, if T.S. Madison can educate people and have them open their eyes to, and like she said in the clip too, like, well, you're not making it safe or comfortable for these men to tell you because NeNe's like, they need to tell you. But it's like, you're not, and this sentiment is why they don't tell you that, like, why they don't share their sexuality. Or, yeah, just anything. Like, that's why they keep it low. So hopefully, some people learn from this conversation. There's obviously the transphobes and the TERFs, but
Mm-hmm.
no one handles these conversations better than T.S. Madison. So shout out to her.
Truly.
Hmm.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, doing the work.
All right, let's go to our final category. Is we had the wrap up of our award show season. So we had the BET Awards, and it was also the Tonys as well. So Tonys were
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, BET Awards happened on Monday. But the one thing that I just want to point out about the BET Awards this year was that the only person who spoke out about anything that was happening in downtown LA
Like
was,
live.
of course, Doechii. Of
Yeah,
course, it was Doechii.
the crowd, the vibes in the crowd failed. Like
They
it
were
was
like,
like,
and then it wasn't until later, like it wasn't until like the end of the speech that people were like up and being like,
no,
yeah.
yeah,
Because until she
I should
started,
get
it
up.
was like she put on her preacher voice, and then
Hmm.
people were like, it's like an innate, ancestral reaction in us that if somebody is up preaching, we're gonna be up
Hmm.
clapping,
Hmm.
even if they're like, oh,
Politics.
I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah. Yeah.
know. Yeah,
You
maybe.
know what's
Okay.
interesting? This is the second year in a row. I think it's underplayed, but last year's BET Awards, when Taraji had the moment, they were talking Project 2025, and like
Yes.
the searches for that went up like hundreds percentage wise. But BET Awards, they're weaving in the politics. Some of the people obviously, but weaving in
Hmm.
the politics. And I saw also more Black queer content. There was a really good La Roach thing, but I was happy Doechii spoke out. Somebody had to say
Same.
something.
Had to. Had
Hmm.
to. She spoke up, and she basically in her speech talked about standing up to President Trump as well as the military that was sent out to antagonize civilians. And if you haven't been watching any of the news or just live under a rock, because ICE is just hitting all these democratic cities, and LA was one of the first ones to go out there. So after speaking on what was happening in downtown LA, she continued to speak on the need for support for trans people, folks in Gaza, Black people, Latino people, and all oppressed people. So it was great to hear that from somebody. throughout the night. Some other fun things that happened at the BET Awards. We had, it was a Y2K throwback.
Yeah.
Of all things. I was like, I think I tuned in right when B2K came on.
Mm.
And I was just like, is that Lil Fizz? Is he still here? One of them, the one with the lips. What's his name?
Raspy.
Ah, there we go. The one with the lips. Yes, the other light skin with the lips. He was at least a half a beat behind almost the whole time. And I was like, sir, come back. Like,
oh, Raspy. Jeez.
It was driving me nuts. It was driving me nuts. I said, get on beat. Get up. Maybe your earplugs aren't in full. I don't know, but I needed it to come back. Some other Y2K people that were on the stage. We had A-Marie. A-Marie's having a time right now. Good for her.
Yeah. Tiny Desk.
Good for her. Between that and the Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
It's
I love
Maya.
A-Marie. Hey, still
Maya
love
was
you.
also there. Okay.
This was good. I saw the clips from this. I think this is better. I don't know what happened.
Yo, because Maya has been touring on the queer scene, and like the amount of times that I've seen her at Pride has been amazing, and she eats every time. My favorite was her in Oakland, at the Oakland Pride.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She did that.
Did she do Black? No, that was Pride. I was gonna say, was it Black Joy Parade? But I think it was Pride, right?
No, it was Pride.
Or is Ashanti did Black Joy Parade? One of them did Black Joy Parade. It's fine. Yeah. Shout out to Maya.
Yeah. So Maya performed, did great. Bow Wow performed. Ashanti performed. So many people. So many people.
I saw they did a 106 in Park tribute. I was like, but without
they did.
AJ and Free weren't there, right? It was just
Free
everyone
was.
else. Free was there? Did AJ come?
Yeah. I don't think AJ went.
Okay.
Right, Free was there. Yeah, Free was there.
Okay. I only saw like Terrence J and the post AJ and Free folks, but good and Free, as long as they have one of them there, especially Free.
Free was there.
Okay, good.
And then they announced that they're going to do a 106 in sports.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see what it is. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Cameron Newton was there to help like with the announcement and stuff, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they're going to shift and they're going to add a sports component to that." And so 106 in sports.
That's the guy
type thing. Yeah,
the wizard.
I mean, and the outfit and the hat look like it as well. So
yeah, Cam Newton's costume designer is theater kid.
Costume
I'm
designer.
Like, is he a theater kid?
Not,
like, it is a designer.
It's not. That's not like a fashion style person. That is a costume designer with the way, because the way that their brains think creatively in all of these ways. But bold.
Yeah, he
bold.
Always looks like a whimsical stud, style. So whimsical. Like it really does. Like
not a whimsical stud.
A whimsical stud wear is what Cameron Newton wears. Cameron Newton, okay? Top hat and all. I Cam. Whimsical stud.
Whimsical stud is iconic, and somebody just felt seen in you saying that. So thank you, friend.
Because some of his fashions, I'm like, I mean, I would wear it. It's just when it looks like he could cast a spell at any time, or just there's magic under the hat. So
just ready. If he takes his hat off, like something's gonna pop out magically. Yeah,
for sure, sure.
Yeah, I love this. Also, there was a Jamie Foxx tribute, which I mildly giggled at because a lot of the songs were also stuff from when he played Ray, and I was like, those are Ray's songs. They're not Jamie Foxx's songs.
Let's just honor him. Let's just honor him. I saw the Kirk Franklin clip. Kirk Franklin.
What a time.
Well, and listen, icon. One of our best rappers actually alive. He's always rapped. And I saw so many people talking about how when we were growing up, Stomp was controversial. Like they were like, they did not like that. They were like, we had to fight to get that.
It truly was. And that was a great album as well.
It was. He's an icon. He really is. And I love everything. He's been supportive of our community and just easing relations or getting anti-homophobic and transphobic language out of the church. But Kirk Franklin is an icon. So I did like that tribute. So shout out to Kirk.
So yeah, I was like, BET Awards were fun. The main thing that I thought was a big miss was that Angie Stone didn't get a full tribute.
Oh wow, they didn't?
They did a song. They had somebody come out and perform a song. It was lovely.
Okay. Who
did a great
was
job?
It?
I don't even know who it was. Live Googles. But came out and had the performing song. So it was just, you know.
What did she perform? I Wish I Didn't Miss You Anymore, or what?
Tribute.
Black Brother.
BET Awards.
One song is crazy. Angie Stone is
Brittany Spencer.
Oh, okay.
Brittany
Neo
Spencer.
Soul. I wish they should have had a Neo Soul Angie Stone tribute.
Yes.
And what I didn't know until her passing, like her contributions to rap with her rap group that she started with. So that was a miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, she performed her version of No More Rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. They didn't have an Angie Stone. This would have went with all the 2000 Y2K throwback stuff. And
it was like they did like a song for like certain people, but there was one. Hold on. There was another one. Why am I blanking? There's 3 guys that came out to sing. Was it the Quincy Jones tribute? Quincy. Hold on, because I need to talk about this. Because I need to know if anybody else caught this. BET Awards. Who sang? Okay, Lucky Day, Luke James, and Miles Canton did a song on her for Quincy Jones, right? One of them came out as, mind you, this is like the in memoriam, okay? So they're doing the tributes during the in memoriam. I don't know which one of these hoes did it because I was eating dinner and then I looked up and was like, which one of you fucking said it? But one of them was like, ladies. Hey, ladies, I can't hear you. And I'm like, we are at an in memoriam and y'all are trying to get ladies to...
If I had to guess, it was probably Lucky Day. Without knowing anything else, it just seems Lucky Day-ish. I don't think Luke James would have done that.
I think maybe.
Is it Luke James?
I don't know.
No.
One of them did
That's
it.
So funny.
And did it 2 times because they were just like ladies and they all like quietly wooed because I was like, this is an in memoriam. Have some decorum. And then he goes again and he's like, ladies, I can't hear you. I was like, ladies, I can't hear you during a Quincy Jones tribute. Are you what?
What song were they performing?
I don't even know because I was distracted by that. Hold on.
Like Secret Garden or something?
Oh my God. What did they perform?
So funny. I was like, what did they perform? Like, did it go with the song?
Hold on, I got it. It's just, I don't want it to. Artist. Okay. Crazy. Yeah, it was.
The Secret Garden. Because I was like, it has to be something that is like a sexy. That's still kind of weird to do, but okay.
But during an in memoriam, I'm.
Whoever did it was like, some time has passed at this point.
They said,
you've seen those TikToks of like Black people at at their funeral, like right after when they're like dancing and doing electric slide. It was like that energy, like ladies. Like
I'm like
Quincy would want this.
Somebody said
Quincy would want this.
I sure did. I was like, I could not be because I was looking at the internet. I'm like, why is nobody talking about the fact that they did this during an in memoriam? That was the wildest part of the night to me. So, and until Jamie Foxx came out and wondered how Stevie knew how to move across the stage and then mocked it. And his wife was sitting there like, stop. Don't do that. Don't, like vehemently shaking her head. She's like, don't you stop it. And he continued. Of course, he doubled down on the joke. I feel like he saw his wife and was like, nah, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, it's fine. I played a blind guy. And I'm like, sir.
It's crazy.
Sit down. So yeah, the BET Awards were time.
I'm not a big fan of Stevie Wonder disability jokes. I feel like that's the most played joke. That after Your Mama's So Fat is the most overplayed jokes. It was like, Stevie, y'all take away from Stevie's greatness with this too. Like
truly.
Y'all really do. Like, we got it. He's blind.
We know.
Jesus.
We know. They can't.
Anyways.
Like, blind folks function in the world. So yeah.
Yeah.
And
anything with the Tonys like that you
Cynthia,
or I guess
Cynthia was the host.
What a busy weekend.
I think last week she walked through what her week was looking like. Homegirl was like club, another club, but like with stage performances. I'm pretty sure she sang just about every day of the week. And if she wasn't singing, it was like the next round of Wicked interviews. And I just, almost any podcast that I follow, she was on it. I was like, when is she coming over here? Because at this rate, with her schedule, Cynthia, come over here. We'll talk to you, girl.
I saw the movie.
It'll be great. You did see the movie, so which means you have to see the second one, and it's gonna be great. Yep, that's what that means. It's fine.
That
It's
doesn't
fine.
mean
Yep.
that does not
Yes, it
mean
does.
that.
You gotta know what
That
happens
does
next.
not mean
You gotta know what
that.
happens next, friend.
That does not mean that. I
gotta know what happens next.
reserve the right.
I
reserve the right to not commit to Wicked 2 or Wicked Duh or whatever they call it.
Full circle.
Anyways, Wicked Duh.
But that was really the main highlight.
She got on World Pride stage and had to get to New York immediately. Like
immediately.
It's like they took the mic and she was like,
that's why I feel like that's why she performed in like jean shorts and a tank top. She was like, you know, I gotta hop on this flight.
The helicopter didn't even turn off. It's just like, after this, gotta go. So,
gotta go. See
what a
later.
rock star.
So yeah, good
Such
for
a
her.
rock
But
star.
that was actually the main best part of the show was anytime she was on. Every time she sang, every time she performed, she did a bunch of like fun ad libs and stuff. But everything else amongst the Tonys was a little lackluster. So. And the main person
you tried to get me to watch that. Crazy. What? You're like, the Tonys is on. I was like, oh, I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi, so.
Oh yeah, when I texted you back and said that you had to water your house. Yep.
Yeah. Just things you got to do.
Look, I was just suggesting a casual show for you to watch at night. That's all I was being a good friend. Just trying to be like, hey, friend, you want to? We could watch this together in our different time zones. It'd be great.
This is
no.
But anyways, it sounds like a great award show wrap up there. I did like that BET did the black tie was their dress code. I thought that was, okay.
People were looking
good. Step it up. So shout out to them. All right. Let's move on to our advice segment, Am I a Bad Queer? Where we get real about your questions and dilemmas. Got something on your mind? Don't keep it to yourself. Send your questions to badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com. All right. This first one is from Precious. Precious asks, am I a bad queer for using dating apps almost exclusively for validation right now? I'm not ready to date, but I still want matches, messages, and flirty energy. My friend says it's wasting people's time. Maybe I am, but also maybe I need this. I don't know. What do y'all think? Precious. I mean, as long as you're telling people that you're not looking for anything and you're just looking to flirt and talk, I think it's fine. But if you're like trying to progress and think, or at least even the illusion of acting like you could date this person and you don't have that and you're not communicating that, and leading them on, then yeah, you're wasting people's time and you're a bad queer. So I don't think people use dating apps for a lot of things that aren't the intended use. So I don't think this is so nefarious as long as you're telling people what you're doing. Like, I'm not trying to date. I'm just trying to chat and meet people. Then I think that's fine. But, you know, maybe your friend knows something. Maybe your friend knows you and knows that you're not telling these people the truth. So yeah,
They're over here on the side. Who you texting?
Right.
Your dating app hoes? You tell them yet?
Tell them.
You leading them on? Because that's probably what that friend is sitting over there doing.
They know you. Yeah.
Because honestly, this isn't even that bad. Like, as Kris said, people are on apps for all sorts of things. So for you to just be like, I'm just here to flirt and vibe. Let's see where this goes. Like, that is such a common description on a dating app. So, you know, you haven't told us that you are not being honest on this app. So I will assume best intention that you are, and you're just having a good time, which more kudos to you, because that's just so much energy. It was so funny. I saw a post the other day on Instagram, and it was on Threads. And it was somebody that was just like, you know what? There's so many people on here. Why don't we just start a thread of like Black queer folks that are single? And it's like, it was almost like an ASL type thing, but people were just dropping, you know, and people started dropping it in there. And I went and I was like, you know what? Hey, I'm single. Let me go and sit and like look at this thread. I got 5 posts in and was tired. I had to leave. I had to leave.
I said, I don't want to do this anymore.
I looked at that and I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, people started adding like other details and other stuff. And I was like, I'm so tired. So the fact that you even have the energy to just go and do this with people, like, good for you. Get
Hopefully you're validating them back too. It's just a circle of validation kind of thing, you know?
That's what I hope this is. Because if it's not, and you're just out here just leading people on and dropping them and all of that, then yeah, you're probably a bad queer. But you know, if y'all are having fun and doing the things, adults can flirt. Adults can have good times. You can sit and message and match and do what you want if it feels good. That's fine. Just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah. A validation circle jerk, you know? Everybody gets something.
One-liners today are very good.
Validation 69. As long as you're communicating that everybody
circle
is.
jerk.
Yeah. As long as hey, listen, some people are on that app scamming people and getting loads of money and gift cards. So I don't.
Oh yeah,
this
they
is
really
not
are.
the worst thing. You know, we met working at a dating app, so we've seen the worst. So I was like, this is
my moderation
kind of intended use. This is
my moderation time. I got stories.
God bless
for
you.
days. I know you got to do the outside stuff.
I saw a little bit of it. I was like, y'all keep that over there.
Y'all, when I would have to turn my monitor, or sometimes when I was doing moderation and it was like a bunch of nudity, and then you walk by my laptop and it's just like spread open, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Moderating my job. I'm moderating the community." Like, what do you?
You got it.
What do you mean?
God bless you. Not all heroes wear capes. Like, you got that. So yeah. Yeah, I hope that helps. Happy Pride. I mean, it is kind of intended.
It is.
So
this is the time.
Yeah.
Happy Pride. All right. Our next is from Anonymous. I'm gonna name you Pat. So we're gonna go with Pat. All right. Am I a bad queer for not wanting to do quote unquote visibility stuff? I'm trans, Jewish, and non-binary. I get asked to speak on panels, do workshops, even take photos for work campaigns, and I just...
That's fucking bad.
Okay. Like, literally, you're like trifecta.
Reefer.
Get Pat. Pat needs to be in the front and center. Where's
Pat?
What they said. Where's Pat?
They panic if Pat is not at work.
Pat had a sick day. We gotta have Pat in the photo.
Pat, can you come off of on video? Pat, is Pat here?
Pat's over here like,
is Pat in the room? They looking on the Zoom. Is Pat here?
I'm gonna head out. Be like, y'all talking to me?
So funny.
Absolutely not. What did they say? Okay, get asked to speak on panels, do workshops, even take photos for work campaigns, and I just don't want to be the token trans voice. But I feel guilty saying no and pressured to say yes. How do I just live my work life in peace?
Jeez.
I want you to have a Zoom background in your meetings that says no pictures. No pictures. No pictures. Thank you. No pictures. Or have like a fake security guard as your background. So it's like no pictures. Pat.
Julius.
That's exactly who I was thinking. You knew that. You knew.
That would be so funny. Yeah. You should have that.
I'm going to update that.
Julius just back there.
Julius just looking over the shoulder. So
who's that? Like, you know who it is.
You know who it is.
America's favorite bodyguard after Kevin Costner.
Really? It's true.
It's up there.
True. Yeah. So, yeah, just honestly, unless work is paying you more to be in these campaigns, don't you do it. They don't care. They don't care. Yeah. Somebody saw some of your pins on your jacket or some of your stickers on your laptop, because I know you have them. I know you have them. We all do. Just say no, and that will give you your peace at the job, because you're not the only out queer person, but you may be the only trans, Jewish, and non-binary person at your job. And so they're like, our unicorn. We've hired our unicorn, and now we're going to use you for everything. And if this is not your jam, respectfully decline. Respectfully decline. Or start asking that question back like, hey, is there any monetary reward for this? And see how quickly they stop asking you to do stuff.
Yeah. They're not coming back to you, Pat.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be compensated.
The way the one time you ask to be compensated, they'll be like,
we don't have that in the budget.
We're going to have to take Pat off the list.
Yeah. Tell them that it's emotional labor and that you charge. So, like, ooh, Pat, we actually don't have any money in the budget for this. So, and they'll leave you alone. So,
real quick.
Yeah, they won't come back to you at all, Pat.
You'll get your piece back.
Yeah. Hope that helps, Pat. Come back with us. Come right back to us to let us know, because
yes,
that'd be nice to know if you got compensated. But they'll probably stop asking. So, all right, this last one is from Anon. We'll name them. It's another plain name, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
Am I a bad queer for spending my whole summer low-key obsessing over the queer cutie I go to school with? Like I'm counting down the days until fall semester and we don't even go together. That's suppressed. We never really talked like that. Just a few side comments in class, some shared glances at the same queer event, and maybe a little too much mutual Instagram lurking. But now that it's summer break, I keep imagining what it would be like to sit next to them again. Did they cut their hair? Did they come out over the break? Oh. Are they seeing someone? Will they even remember me? I know I should be living my summer life, beach days, queer day parties, light emotional detachment. But
I like
instead,
that.
I'm creating imaginary soft launches and what if moments in my head, like I'm writing a pilot of a gay rom-com that hasn't been greenlit. Is it a little embarrassing, Jill? Jill, this is just normal, run-of-the-mill queer woman behavior. This is
Yep.
fine pining. You do need to make sure that you enjoy your summer and don't let this person consume your thoughts because you are not dating this person. And it doesn't sound like, well, y'all aren't interacting every day. You don't have their number. So, you know, yeah, you're gonna have to release a little bit of those thoughts. And I know they're dominating. You'll see them in the fall, maybe, because what
Maybe.
happens if, um, so yeah, I don't think it's crazy. This just seems like run-of-the-mill stuff, but I don't think that this person should dominate your thoughts because you don't really have actually anything with them. Just some good interactions, which are great, and you can think about them, but I don't think they should dominate your thoughts. So yeah, I don't even think it's embarrassing. I just think you really
Yeah.
like the person, but in
Yeah.
reality and logically, there's nothing actually like concrete there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is exactly what a crush is.
Yep.
You just defined a crush. But also, since y'all are mutually Instagram lurking,
Hmm.
you just want to reach out and ask them to hang out over the summer
Mm-hmm.
and see what
Get their
happens instead
phone
of
number.
waiting all summer. Like, unless they're one of those people that disappears to Europe all summer, like, if they're around, why not go find out? Also, it's very normal to do that because you could do it in a group setting where you are at a queer beach day or doing something and just all hang out, and then you can slowly actually get to know each other because it just seems like this is a lot of queer tension that we're taking to the extreme with this crush, and you have the capability to do something about it. So make that first move. See if they
Yeah.
want to come hang out with you in a group of friends or do some queer things and
Yeah.
go from there.
Even the small but big first move of like, I don't know, getting their number. If y'all are Instagram friends, if y'all are lurking, like there could be, I don't know, you might have to start at a meme share or a video share. I don't know what kind of conversations
Liking a
y'all have had,
story,
liking a story,
commenting on a post.
commenting on a post, liking a picture from 5 years ago. So
Because that's the true sign.
deep
That's
lurk,
somebody
deep
goes
lurk.
back,
Yep.
looks in your tagged photos and
Yeah.
likes the stuff. Yep.
The kiddos though today, some of them have like they'll clean their Instagram and have like not that many pictures. Like mine goes back to Instagram's origins, but some of them only have a handful of pictures. But either way, take the small step of maybe even just getting their number is the goal
Mm-hmm.
from Instagram, or at least talking to them regularly on Instagram first. So, and then, see what happens from there. So you'll have at least something a little more concrete.
Yeah.
And enjoy your
Make that
summer. My
move.
goodness.
Enjoy
You might
your
not even like
summer.
them for real. Waste your
Right.
whole summer. Mm,
You know,
mm,
you invite them to one group thing and you're like, well,
mm.
now we know.
Your friends
And
are
then you're
like,
good.
don't invite them again, ever. So, hope that helps. Happy Pride. That is it for our advice segment. Am I a bad queer? Send your questions to badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com.
All right. What type of bad queers will we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? I had one written in, but I forgot it. So I'm going to tap it over to you first, and I'm going to find
Okay.
the one that I wrote down.
Well, mine is and that's fine. A community note. That is just it's a general community note. It's not queer specific. This is actually, I'll say this is especially for Black folks. It's time to have real vegan and vegetarian options for folks at the cookout. Like enough time has passed that
Oh,
it's
we are
not a novel
talking.
thing
Oh,
anymore.
oh,
It doesn't mean you have to eat the food or feel shame about the pork rib you're just going to tear down. But there are enough options out there to make those accommodations. I don't think you should host a cookout or anything that involves food if you can't accommodate folks with different food preferences. And like I think it's again like you don't even have to cook it. Like you could go pick it up from somebody who makes this. But as someone in like my parents used to host a lot of get-togethers and all that, I pride myself in being a good host. I think it's time. It's time to stop complaining about them. Like, oh, it's time to stop having like the crudité, the telling them that the green beans are over there, but it's made with ham hocks. Like,
right.
we gotta stop that. It's enough. Okay. Vegan and vegetarian folks and people with different food preferences are here. They're not going anywhere. And it's time to accommodate them. It's
I
time.
know. And
It's
especially
time.
because there's a lot of Black-owned vegan places
A
now. So it's like
lot.
you can
And they're
support
great.
Black-owned businesses and do it. This is perfect timing for
Yeah.
Juneteenth, friend. Like it's
And
just
and it
rethink,
and is.
rethink
Yes.
your menu
Yeah.
going into Juneteenth week. So yeah.
Also, when you do get their plate, like if you do, which you mentioned, like there's Black vegan caterers and restaurants now, but when you do get that for them, make sure that there is food for them because those be the times that people want to try
They're like,
vegan
hey,
and
what is
vegetarian
this? Oh,
dishes
that looks good. I'm gonna
and
have
tear
it,
it
and then
up.
it's gone.
Yep,
And then it's gone. And
exactly.
we're like,
Save some plates for the vegan and
y'all talked
vegetarian.
all this trash beforehand, and now look at you.
Yeah.
Licking your
They're like,
fingers
these greens are
afterwards.
good. I had this mushroom, so like leave the
Uh-huh.
food for them too. But I'm tired of our community being hostile to vegans and vegetarians. Like I know some of them are annoying that will tell you like, oh, like you don't have to buy into that. I don't hear all that. But even though, they're right in a lot of respects, but have some food for them if you're gonna host a cookout. Have some food, some real food for
Real
vegans and
food.
vegetarians. It's time. It's
Yes.
time. Stop complaining about them. Like it's okay. So
That's too funny.
I'm tired of it.
All right. So, with my backward opinion, I feel like this is also kind of a community note, but I'm mainly talking to the queers who are going into the summer single. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of notes going into the summer for
You
the
will.
single folks. And I just,
All leading up to Heart Life Volume 3. Go ahead.
wow.
End of summer. We're getting into the fall with this. You got to you got to
If
live,
I do Heart
remember?
Life Volume 3, then you have to watch Wicked.
Well, we got to do Color Purple. One of the
Yes.
others.
Yes. We do have to do
Yeah.
Color Purple and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. No, because Color Purple, I'm
Wicked,
still very
duh.
upset about. I'm still like, it actually is a random moment in time where I'll be sitting at work and I'll just. Kris still hasn't watched the Color Purple.
Which is crazy. You just be on your.
Like literally stops and I'm just like, you know who hasn't watched it? Kris. People will be like, who's Kris? And I'm like, don't worry about
right.
it.
Like,
Don't worry about it.
It's just like, why is this an intrusive thought? It's just a haunting thought for you. Like, oh my gosh, she still hasn't watched it.
And I don't know why it's that one in particular.
I
But it just
know. That's what's
upsets me
crazy.
greatly.
It's so funny. Just throws your day. You're like,
really
damn it. I haven't done it.
I'm out.
Yeah.
People are like, what is she upset about? It's like my coworker who's like, oh, her co-host hasn't watched The Color Purple. Walking down the hallway like, God damn it.
Right. Still. So funny. So funny.
But yes, but my community note for the single queers. Some of you have a lot of friends who have been booed up. Cuffing season worked well for them. Congratulations. Don't be ashamed to be the solo single friend in the group. Enjoy the fact that you have a growing community now. You get to bring in their friends. Hopefully their friends are dope. Sometimes it's not, and that's unfortunate. And you can just set your space. But enjoy the growing community. But also this is a prime time for you to go and like make some other friends, go and explore. A lot of times they're going to be checking in with their boos to be like, hey, like, and now you're waiting extra amount of time to go and do stuff. Just go do it. Go do the things. Or find out that friend that you haven't been able to hang out with a lot. And you're like, hey, usually I would invite this friend, but they're busy with their partner. I would like to hang out with you. You don't have to tell them that. Just go and ask them to hang out. But take this as a time for you to be able to explore new things. And I don't want anybody to feel any shame going into summer single because it's just a good time for you. And don't be ashamed of being in the friend group and being a solo person because it's okay. and you gonna make it.
Yeah. You're here. Enjoy. Enjoy it.
Yes. Enjoy it. You don't have to check in with anybody and tell your schedule. If you want to go and get lit and fall asleep face first on your couch, nobody's going to talk to you about it. It's going to be great. You want to go and hook up with that person, then maybe hook up with another person, then head home. You can do that.
You do all of it.
And you just go and relax.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy those pieces of it. Don't see it as you are lacking of anything. See it as opportunity.
Here, here. Happy summer to y'all. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. But you know, we would never leave you without giving shout outs to our faves. My shout out this week goes to the Seattle Plant Store. It is Seattle's radically queer plant shop. I found this through one of their enthusiastic employees whose Instagram name, I think, is Planthony.
Huh, that's funny.
I said that's
Anthony.
Keep this person forever. So their slogan is really go buy some gay plants. So if you're in Seattle, go and follow and support on IG at Seattle Plant Store.
I love that. Planthony. That's really cool. My shout out is to Black Market Vintage. They've released their annual Juneteenth shirt this year, designed by Black queer artist Chanel Abney, who's done the Jordan lines, so many things. We're big fans. Get yours and wear them as much as y'all used to wear those Old Navy 4th of July shirts. Okay.
Good times.
So I know, I was one of them. So, but I like wearing my Juneteenth Black Market Vintage shirts like year round. So they're such good designs. This one is really, really awesome. And again, they collaborated with Black queer artist Chanel Abney. So follow them at Black Market Vintage and Nina Chanel. We'll have it in the description.
All right. Well, for everybody tuning in, thanks so much. And we will see you next week.
Take care.
Me again. Can we talk about things? I'm sorry that I'm gone.